his tone dark. Donald Trump takes GOP mantle. Donald John Trump accepted the Republican presidential nomination on Thursday night with an unusually vehement appeal to Americans who feel that their country is spiraling out of control and yearn for a leader who will take aggressive, even extreme, actions to protect them. Mr. Trump, 70, a New York real estate developer and reality television star who leveraged his fame and forceful persona to become the rare political outsider to lead the ticket of a major party, drew exuberant cheers from Republican convention delegates as he strode onto the stage of the Quicken Loans Arena and delivered a speech as fiery as his candidacy. With dark imagery and an almost angry tone, Mr. Trump portrayed the United States as a diminished and even humiliated nation, and offered himself as an all-powerful savior who could resurrect the country's standing in the eyes of both enemies and law-abiding Americans. "Our convention occurs at a moment of crisis for our nation," an ominous-sounding Mr. Trump said, standing against a backdrop of American flags. "The attacks on our police, and the terrorism in our cities, threaten our very way of life. Any politician who does not grasp this danger is not fit to lead our country." Mr. Trump nearly shouted the names of states where police officers had been killed recently, as the crowd erupted in applause, and returned repeatedly to the major theme of the speech, "law and order," he said 4 times, each time drawing out the syllables. Evoking the tumult of the 1960s and the uncertainty that followed the September 11 terrorist attacks, Mr. Trump made a sharp departure from the optimistic talk about American possibility that has characterized Republican presidential candidates since Ronald Reagan redefined the party over 30 years ago. In promoting his hardline views on crime, immigration and hostile nations, Mr. Trump was wagering that voters would embrace his style of populism and his promises of safety if they feel even less secure by Election Day. But his speech, the longest, at an hour and 15 minutes, since at least 1972, had relatively little new to offer women, Hispanics, blacks and others who have been turned off by Mr. Trump's incendiary brand of politics. He did sound like a different sort of Republican at times, though, making no mention of abortion, a core issue for many Republicans, and saying of his support among evangelical voters, "I'm not sure I totally deserve it." Mr. Trump also challenged Republican orthodoxy as he promised to end multilateral trade deals and limit American intervention in global crises. He denounced 15 years of wars in the Middle East, a rebuke of his party's last president, George W. Bush, and pledged to help union members, coal miners and other low-wage Americans who have historically supported Democrats. "These are the forgotten men and women of our country," said Mr. Trump, a billionaire with a mixed record of job creation and layoffs. "People who work hard but no longer have a voice. I am your voice." He even vowed to do everything in my power to protect our LGBTQ citizens from the violence and oppression of a hateful foreign ideology. As the audience applauded, Mr. Trump made a deviation from his prepared text, observing, "I have to say, that as a Republican, it is so nice to hear you cheering for what I just said." Facing a restive party on the final night of a convention that has been unusually turbulent and divided, Mr. Trump seemed to make headway in galvanizing and unifying at least those Republicans gathered in the hall. The nearly full arena was rapt as Mr. Trump spoke, and when he began discussing illegal immigration, a familiar chant quickly broke out in the arena, "Build the wall, build the wall." And when he vowed to tell the truth plainly and honestly, a delegate cried from the floor, "Bring it, Donald." Mr. Trump dwelled at length on illegal immigrants and lawless Americans, saying they are as dangerous for the nation's security as the Islamic State and Syrian refugees. In doing so, Trump advisers said, he sought to win over undecided voters who are sickened by the recent violence against police officers and worried about safety yet are unsure if Mr. Trump has the temperament and abilities to be commander-in-chief. Thank you for watching videos. My regular channel posted the video. You register, be sure to press the channel to monitor, and do not forget to like, comment for video.